Are we ready? We're gonna do the thing. We're gonna do the thing. There's a cat walking by. Alright. So today's review is of the DSA Paratrooper, or DSA Sa58 Paratrooper conversion kit, as you see above. Lower we have an M-Bolt receiver, which is going to act as our control rifle to test the fit of the Paratrooper lower. Now, the locking wedge from the above rifle is mounted into the Paratrooper lower for the time being, so it may not exactly fit on this M-Bolt. I actually wanted to use the M-Bolt as like my control group for testing the fit of the parts. The fire control group, the VACT original fire control group, fits in the rifle, or fits in the conversion lower without an issue. The stock fits on with very minimal gap as it butts up to the rear of the rifle. It opens and closes very easily, which is good. But again, you can take the fucking thing and shake the piss out of it, it's not going to open. So the original fire control group fits in there without an issue. So that's great. Locking lever fits in no problem. Only thing I had a concern about is how this pin is held in place. Because this receiver is aluminum and the majority of these components are steel, you can very, very, very easily damage this receiver installing components because, again, I'm assuming most of your tools are going to be steel or capable of marring aluminum for that matter. So be very mindful. Don't take a screwdriver to this to pry something out because you will damage the receiver or your lower. Now to remove, you remove it like a standard FAL lower, but you have to be aware that, let me do this off camera, sorry. You have to be aware that your dust cover can pop. What's going on? Oh, that's one thing I forget about. Sometimes the locking tab gets interrupted by the sling loop. There we go. So yeah, your dust cover sits in there more like an SKS style, where the recoil spring is retained within the dust cover, and your bolt and carrier come out as a single package with your top cover. And if I were to let this go right now, it would rock it apart. So don't do that. So as you can see, this lip there retains onto the top of the bolt carrier. There we go. Top of the bolt carrier has that lip. It's retaining the lip of the dust cover. Recoil spring, it's a triple recoil spring, so it's this recoil spring, which is outer, an inner back recoil spring, a center telescoping piece, and then an inner front recoil spring. This fits in either rifle without an issue. Just want to throw that out there. Top receiver is a Kunin, just so you know. It's pretty inspected. It really doesn't have anything majorly wrong with it. So there's that. This is the only issue I ran into with the Paratrooper, or this for that rifle. Its bolt doesn't fit in here really well because some burrs are on the rear of this section where the bolt cams up and out, or lifts up and out, and then just around there. But you can push the firing pin in, and it'll come out pretty easily. Just a minor burn here, and right in here I took a handful to it with 5 seconds and came right out. Now this is the Paratrooper bolt, so it's obviously got the sand cuts, got a different nose cut profile, and then through hole for the recoil spring. This will not fit in that M-Bolt receiver. Oh, pinch my stomach in between that. Okay, so normal FAL style take apart. Fits snug. Won't carrier slide out without issue. DSA Paratrooper FAL bolt, unmodified, as you can see, still with factory parkerization. The road mark is from where I tried to force it into this rifle. Let's see. Yep. Does not go in. There you go. Will that lower fit on this rifle? Well, let me pause and attempt that. Before I do that, let me try that top cover and this emblem. So, recoil spring, I'm not going to try with the bolt carrier, obviously, because the bolt carrier doesn't work on this gun. So, top cover. Oh. Considering that's a metal flake that just came off, I would say that doesn't fit very well. Ooh, my nice table. Rip. Yeah, you can see the rub mark right here from where either something's wrong on that emblem or something's wrong on this top cover, but here's this top cover. Is that top cover in this? Oh, damn it. It's that top cover in this gun, and it came in tight, but no problem. Just for reference, there we go. FN marked, so. And that sucks because you can see the damage right there on this top cover because steel is a little bit too thick right there. No, really not much damage on the other side. Yeah. So 1, 2, do. Let me pause. With a fit. So emblem upper, emblem lower, DSA lower. Boom. So, pin pushed in. Same amount of engagement as the other rifle. That's fully seated. That goes through without an issue, but again, it's aluminum, so if there really was an issue, we'd just remove the material, and unlike the Communism receiver, it doesn't try to catch on the back tabs right here. Excuse me. Where you can, that's actually from where I hit it with the brass hammer on accident. This is the little bit of material I had to remove to get that Communism to fit. Just a little radius. Now you can see it fits without issue. And again, I have the locking tab from that gun in here, not that one. All this is really easy to install. I mean, I had no problems with it. Yeah, that's it. Overall thoughts, very good. Obviously the lower cuts off a lot of weight and adds the capability of side folding stocks or folding stocks. So that makes this rifle very portable as opposed to, being like a 46-inch monstrosity. Not that you're unfamiliar with transporting something like that. Yeah, makes it a very nice compact package in relation to having the 3-pound boat anchor that is the standard fixed stock lower on your rifle. And that's because these are all steel, and obviously these are aluminum, and plastic. Now the stock itself is a the stock itself, it's all aluminum, and then it has plastic covering the aluminum legs or arms of the stock. Two pieces here. The butt itself, I believe, is also aluminum with like some kind of plasticized coating, or possibly just pure plastic. I really can't tell. No, it's metal. Yeah, that's metal. So yeah, this is all aluminum, plastic sheeting. That so your face doesn't freeze to it or get burned from it, I assume. And then again, like I said, the hinge locks up very well, so I'm very happy with that. And then I'm gonna try to get an original Paratrooper bolt. It's just a matter of ordering one, really. Paratrooper bolt, so I can run this stock on this gun. But yeah, I'm gonna go out and shoot it and see how it does. I imagine, yeah, it will have more recoil, considering its considerable weight reduction. And again, these stocks are by no means cheap at $400, or the kits are by no means cheap at $400. But I'm happy with it nonetheless, even with the issues, because they're not functionality. Because like, I mean, if the Paratrooper bolts weren't available and that DSA one was the only option, yes, I'd be very upset because it doesn't fucking fit. You know, it doesn't fit a factory spec receiver, which is a problem. The little bit of burrs, I don't give a shit about. I can fix those with the file. That is going to take some measuring and some time, because I have to measure the distance from here to here, as well as this thickness on the bolt rails, and then just the overall thickness, or the height from here to here, the body of the bolt to the bolt rails, as well as the rail thickness in relation to the bottom. And I don't want to do that, because I buy these things for drop fit, not so I can fuck with them. And especially when you're paying that much, it shouldn't be something you have to fuck with. Overall thoughts are, I'm happy with it, even though it has these issues. Don't get into battle rifles unless you have money. Seriously, don't get into battle rifles unless you have money. Because 308 is very expensive. These rifles in and of themselves are very expensive. The magazines are expensive. The accessories, the parts are expensive, and they're also getting harder to find, which is, again, conducive to increase in price on the open market. So don't get into battle rifles unless you're expensive, or unless you have the money. Or, save your pennies and get a good one, like get an FAL or a G3. Shootability wise, I prefer the FAL because the accessories are more readily available, cheaper, and better in my opinion, especially in regards to mounting optics. G3 obviously has the benefit of mags and stuff like that, but I'm just rambling at this point. Thanks for watching. Questions, comments, leave them below. Anything else? I'll show you later.
SA58 conversion kit from DSA.